N'Golo Kante, how serious his injury is?
Quite serious. We're talking about weeks. Just not good news. And yeah, we're disappointed and sad because N'Golo was super important and super fit, and he will be out for several weeks. And same Armando is out for some days, but cannot come with us to Leeds. And Mateo Kovacic as well, still out with knee problems. And Christian Pulisic had Achilles problems, but trained today, and let's see.
This time last week, we played the game where I gave you some names and you said no comment, so I'm not going to bother doing that this week.
Yeah.
But I'm just going to ask you, a week on, given that you need reinforcements and you've had a couple of injuries now as well, are you frustrated that there still hasn't been any business done? Are you starting to get increasingly frustrated?
No, the opposite of frustrated after last week's match. I'm very happy and very confident after last week's performance, because I saw a good team, very good team performance, excellent match. And like I told you, we work together about the reinforcements, but it's never easy, and it's not that we can just wish for something and it will happen. And as long as the transfer window is open, there are always possibilities. We know what we are trying, we know what we are doing, but the focus is on what we have. The focus is on not what we could have. The focus from me is on what we have, and this is the team. And they get the full energy and full attention from us.
And in terms of outgoings, there's talk of Christian Pulisic, Callum Hudson-Odoi.
Yeah, I know there are a lot of talks. First of all, we will also not comment our players, and we will not encourage our players to go out in the moment. We had now 2 training sessions with 18 players. In a schedule where we play once a week, it's not a problem. If I look a little bit, if I put the chin a little bit up and look at the schedule, that is coming with Southampton in during the week, and then 2 Champions League matches. It's coming. It's right in front of the door, and we will need a lot of players, and we will need a lot of quality players to be competitive. So at the moment, like I said, we have what we have. We know what we're looking for, and from there we go, and only from there we can think about letting players go.
Mike Dean has now admitted that he got the Cucurella-Romero incident wrong. Does that add to your frustration, or do you think it's actually a good thing that VARs are now admitting their mistake?
As I am not frustrated, as I told you,
yes,
it cannot add to my frustration. What was the question?
Is it a good thing that referees and VARs are now admitting their mistakes, or does it make you even more annoyed?
Hopefully I'm not too honest, but if the mistake is that big and that obvious, what's the chance of not? What's the point of not admitting if the whole world sees it? I mean, I struggle a little bit to be fully impressed by the statement. I have to say, it's so clear and obvious that I still cannot understand how a referee cannot make the decision that was the right decision.
Just one final question for me. I think everyone sort of appreciates that you're, a real competitor in the heated battle, but you're also very down to earth and you've got a very good sense of humour. You'll have seen the video a lot now of you and Antonio Conte shaking hands last Sunday. When you see it put to music, does it make you laugh? What do your friends think? What does your wife think?
Of course we laugh. It's very important to laugh about ourselves, and of course we laugh. And I was laughing in the dressing room because it was the heat of the match, and it was, for me, still, it was not that bad. It was a handshake, and it was a bit too long and too heavy handshake, I admit it, but no harm was done, and at least from my side, and he spoke Italian to me, so I never know, and we didn't insult each other, so I think we couldn't. I think the thing would have been very, very quickly would have ended if there were not 20 people around us that make the thing look much worse than it actually was. But you're right. I mean, if you have a reaction like this, you need to live with a reaction towards it. And of course, I laughed about myself.
Have you seen the Strictly Come Dancing one?
Sorry?
The Strictly Come Dancing one, is that one of the ones you've seen?
I saw quite some, because everybody makes fun of me, of course, here in the building, as you can imagine, and it's okay. It's okay.
Cheers, Jamie. Move on to Moose.
I presume everyone's been shaking you by the hand and looking you in the face as well when you do that. Did you see anything wrong with that, with Kante, or was that just passion at the end of the game between two men?
I think it was passion between two men who fought for their team. I think it was not more, and I hope it will not, that they don't make more out of it. In the context that we had, of course, a hair pulling just 2 minutes before, it seemed a bit like, out of, I don't know the word for it. It seemed a bit like it's not that big a deal for me, and it was about passion and nothing more. And it was like he was fighting for his team, and I was fighting for my team. And as you hopefully felt before we played Tottenham last season with Conte, and now I have nothing but biggest respect for him. And this will not change because of that incident.
Off the back of that game last week, have you changed your view slightly that you do need an out-and-out centre forward, be that Aubameyang or be that someone else, a number 9, or do you still believe, as you did a couple of weeks ago when we spoke, that a false 9, a Sterling or a Havertz is the way forward?
Well, I believe that we can compete with this group, but to be very honest, it's one thing to compete once a week, and it's another thing to compete 60 times in a year and 3 times a week. And for this, you need a strong group. It's simply like this, and you need players who challenge for their place and challenge for their minutes and push each other to the highest level. It does not come down only about tactics and only about the team spirit. It is also about the challenge within the team and the quality of the players and the depth in your squad. So that has not changed. We are very happy about the performance still, and we are still active in the market, and we know what can be possible. But if not, we will make the very best out of it. It's still, if we're looking for high quality, and we're looking also for personality that suits our group and suits our club. So nothing has changed.
And finally, for me, I don't know whether the referee gives you an apology after a game if you've got a decision like the Craigo one wrong. VAR obviously can't because they're miles away. Yeah. And then you read about it in the paper 4 days later. Would you be one of those managers who subscribe to the theory that maybe not straight away afterwards, but an hour later or what have you, that we should hear now from referees about why they made a decision, and if they've got one wrong, like if you get a substitution wrong, you'll come out, apologise for getting a substitution wrong. Maybe that a referee should come out and apologise if they get a decision wrong.
Yeah, I mean, in the decision, it's maybe not the referee to blame in this decision, because he was not called to the monitor. So I think we have to, by all the passion and by all the emotions and by all the consequences that it had for us, we need to admit that it was not the referee to take this decision. It was the VAR who got it totally wrong in this case. And by apologizing or admitting, at least, I think it could be a bit more transparent to make it easier for everybody. So maybe they could explain even the decisions on the field to everybody, like if they take a decision, why they take this decision.
Like in cricket where we hear about it.
Yeah, maybe to make it more transparent, to make it more clear what's going on and why is a goal not allowed, why is it disallowed, why he's challenging or he's overruling his own decision, to understand it a little bit better. I think it's not the end of the process yet. It's still necessary to have normally regular goals and irregular decisions overruled, but it's obviously still work to do.
Cheers. Go to John.
Hi Thomas. On the number 9, where does another Broja fit in? Have you seen enough of him that he does have a future here, or does he need to go out again before that?
Yes and no. We know enough about him, but it's one thing to perform on a loan. It's another thing to perform within a club like Chelsea. So this is the next step. While he's doing the next steps, he was injured in pre-season. Now he's injured again. That does not help his own ambitions, and does not help us, of course, in having a clear view on what he can give us. But given the size of the squad at the moment, I would say it's a huge chance for Armando to have an impact at Chelsea. I understand that this is his clear ambition, his clear goal to make this step here, and so it's on him. He gets full support. He has our trust, our support, and from here we go. But unfortunately, right now, second time that he's injured in a short period of time, and hold back for this reason.
The performance last weekend, do you think you sent a message out to quite a few people, all those people who were saying Spurs have caught you up and maybe overtaken you, and those who maybe doubt you this season?
Well, for this match, surely. It sent even a message to me. I was impressed how we played. Not surprised, but impressed, because we talked about it many times, that it's a bit hard to have a clear view on where we are in this period of time, and with the sanctions and being in the delay in transfer period and so on. Many times we spoke about it. So I was also not sure. I felt that Tottenham is well prepared, got their things early done, and was very impressive to see us perform like this over 95, 96 minutes was an excellent match, and even in the datas and in the review of the match, it was also important for me to see that we can reach this level that early. So now we set the bar high, but it's always one thing, like I said, to perform in one match, and of course in a derby, and of course in a very emotional match, and now to repeat it on a high level, and this is these are the next steps that we have to do with the guys who played, and of course with the guys who did not play so much, to keep the level as high as possible. The process is not finished. Let's see where we are like now on Sunday. Not everything is finished just because we had this kind of performance, but it was very good to see, and I think it gave all of us, me included, a lot of confidence in what we do and what we are, and made things much clearer to ourselves.
And how important have the last couple of weeks been? You've had 4 weeks training, you'll get 4 weeks training next week, and that will probably be it then, won't it?
That will be it. We are enjoying it a lot. We're trying new exercises. We're preparing matches like over 3-4 days, which is very, very unusual for us. And the team is very responsive. The players are very responsive to it. So I'm very grateful, and it's a pure joy to have this. And when the games come, it's pure joy to have the matches. But it's nice that we have a kind of extended preparation, a kind of extended time for us here in Chelsea, coming from where we come from. It's very important, and we're trying to make the most out of it.
Cheers, John. Move to Alex.
Hi, Thomas. How are you?
Good.
Chelsea have never won successive league visits to Ellen Road. How confident are you that you'll change that stat on Sunday, and what are you expecting from Leeds?
I expect a high intensity game. I expect a high pressing team from Leeds, and a very emotional stadium. We had a fantastic game last season at Ellen Road, and scored very early. We're very dominant, very focused, and concentrated and effective in front of goal. Of course, it was an early red card, I think, that played into our hands, but still was a very good performance. And this is what we expect. Like I said, repetitive intensity, high pressing, and a team that loves the chaos. A team of Leeds that has a high acceptance for mistakes. They don't get frustrated by mistake. They accept mistakes as chances to play counter-pressing, pressing and counter-pressing and so on. So we have to be well aware. We have also to manage our expectations, our level of acceptance for mistakes, because mistakes against these high-intensive teams like Liverpool, like Leeds, like Southampton, who have a certain style of pressing, you make mistakes. You cannot play without mistakes against these teams, so you need to accept it before the match and make the best out of it. find the spaces. There's not a lot of time for decision making, and this is what we prepare for now in training, and hope to be on our top level, and to find the level that we had last week, to be able to prove the statistics wrong. I did not know about it, so thanks for telling me. Thanks for telling me.
I just also wanted to ask you about Marc Cucurella and
Yeah.
Ben Chilwell. Are they competing for one place in the team, or do you envisage them playing in the same starting 11 this week?
I would say if we play a back four, they're competing for the same place. If we play a back five, not 100%, because I think that Ben is then a clear wing back, and Mark is both. He can play in the back three and then as a wing back. That's what it is.
What were you telling me about the new signing, Cesare Casadei? People comparing him to Frank Lampard, saying he'll be Chelsea's next Frank Lampard.
Oh, really? I'm not so sure if we do him a big favor if we join in this discussion. I just met him yesterday here in the building, and we will give him time now. We will give him time now to learn the language, to learn what Chelsea is all about, to understand the culture, how we live here, how we train here on a daily basis. And then once he's settled in, we will give him opportunity to train with us and show his qualities, and then we will assess him, and then I have a clearer picture of him, and then we will see.
Okay, got to end that section now, I'm afraid.